Okay, say something amazing.
Something amazing.
Holy shit. We'll see what happens because, this movie, oh my god, what happened?
You just started recording mid-sentence. I like that.
That's what I do, that's what I roll.
So this is 2 takes fast forward.
Thank you.
And we're about to just discuss Twilight New Moon.
Why have we done this?
Now, we're reluctantly doing this, aren't we?
Yes, because we're dedicated and we said we would.
Do you realise this is the second time we've watched this film, and neither of us like this film?
And yet, here we are, talking about it again, yeah.
Alright, well, I guess if we're going to talk about this, I want to start with the Blu-ray itself.
He's literally got it in his hands. He's giving me, fire in his eyes. He's, ready to go.
I really don't like this movie, and I'm dreading this. Because this movie, let's just start here. This movie is 127 minutes. That's 7 minutes over 2 hours.
Right.
This movie has the balls to be over 2 hours long.
Come on, Twilight first one had the balls to put in fucking Linkin Park in the credits.
But at least it wasn't over 2 hours. They knew what they were doing. They were like, no one likes this, let's just cut it now. Whereas this film's like, no, let's go over 2 hours because people love this. And we're
because they wanted to show the emo side of Bella, obviously, when she's cycling in that chair with "There's a Possibility" singing, and she's wearing the same outfit throughout the whole entire. Yeah,
I do. The song.
There's a possibility, and she's the camera's twirling around her, and then she's wearing the same outfit, which I was like, continuity error right there, and it's 4 months.
Yeah.
Because it's winter outside, and it's autumn, and then it's summer again, or some shit like that, and it's like, dude. You're wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, but isn't that's deliberate? It's showing that she's.
I know. I took it
I'm
literally.
Actually defending this, but
oh my god, why?
That's showing that she hasn't even got out of that chair. She hasn't got out. She hasn't got out of bed.
Well, she has to get out on that chair. Okay.
Yeah. Stare out of a window for 4 months.
Yeah. Oh my god. How can she get away with that? She's got college to do and stuff.
I imagine she's not. Oh no, she is, because she still hangs around with.
No, she doesn't hang around with anyone because she went into the hall, the cafeteria, and she sat on the table when no one else is. And
I thought
she's
she was still hanging out with what's her name, the girl that you really like, Anna Kendrick.
Oh, her.
Anna Kendrick, yeah.
Oh right, Little Miss, I'm your best friend, but I'll stab you behind your back.
The one in the first one was all like, "Oh, you're so funny."
And it's like, no, you're not. Anna Kendrick as a person is great, but her character is terrible.
Oh yeah,
she knows it. It's fine. It's okay. Isn't this the one where she hangs out with Jacob a lot as well?
Yeah.
And then he suddenly has muscles to spare, and it's like, what happened to the little kid with long hair? What happened?
I've heard this I heard this years ago, and it could just be a rumor, so I shouldn't even be saying it. To be fair.
Yeah, whatever.
I heard that the actor himself was a bit jealous of what's his name, Pattinson.
What?
Rob Pattinson was getting a lot of attention in the first film, and then apparently the actor of Jacob was like, I kind of want some of that too. And he went to the filmmakers and said, "Can I actually get really buff?" And they were like, "It's a good idea."
Well, yeah, because he's turning into a wolf, and you would assume, wolves' muscles are pretty buff because they're running around and stuff. So
the first film, he's a bit of a joke, isn't he? In the first film, he's a bit of a like a wet blanket. Like he's got the long hair, and he kind of bumbles around and.
He's in his school fucking uniform as well. He goes to her prom in a school uniform.
And there's a scene where he's they're getting in the truck together, and she opens the door and hits him with it. Like he's a bit of a joke.
Oh, they tried the cute meat, but it didn't work, man.
All of a sudden, he turned into the hot guy.
Yeah, the second choice kind of rebound guy. And they kind of discuss it a little bit actually in the movie theater before he gets all angry and ill, something like that. And he's like, I'll wait for you. I'll wait. That's all good. It's fine. And it's like, all right, Jacob, you chill as fuck. I like that. That's nice. But then, later on, he does a manipulation. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go into battle. I might die. You better kiss me quick. And then she does. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
I don't remember that.
I do.
The last time we watched this, we turned it off because I couldn't take it anymore because it gets to a certain point and I was thinking, I don't remember what happens next, but this must be the end, right? And I checked the time, and it was halfway through. And I was like,
and I heard you moaning, and you were like, why? And I think you kind of tried to wander off and do something, like pottering around in the kitchen or something, just for something to do. And then you came back and you felt like it was 5 minutes, but it wasn't. It was like half hour, and you're like, oh god, it's still happening. Yeah. And then I'm like, you want to turn it off? And you're like, yeah. So that was the end of that. That's
it
the
feels
worst
like
one
it's
you
about
hate.
3 hours, this film.
So why do you hate this one so much? What is it compared to the first one and the third, fourth, 5,000th that they've done? Why is it only this one that you hate?
There's nothing in this movie that is interesting. Nothing whatsoever. From the filmmaking to the content to the characters, nothing.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, okay, so the first film, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's Twilight. It's the original Twilight. But it's got some energy, it's got some humour, it's got some atmosphere. It's the only film in the series with atmosphere.
That's true. Yeah,
the other films forget that Forks is a sort of a
mystical.
Yeah, it's this kind of like a bit of a creepy mountaintop kind of town
with loads of fog and like rain and
and ice.
Moodiness.
And the other films just completely forget about that.
Yeah. They forget about like the whiteness of the skin as well. They become really normal at the end.
Yes, that's very true.
Which is very odd. But anyway, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
It's just it feels like it should have been a 5-minute prologue to the third movie or something. It's just so boring. Nothing happens. It's just Bella going, oh, he left. Fuck.
I know, but it's addressing some kind of, if you think about it, like a version of grief in a way. Because I read all the books, because that's what I do. And, oh yeah, awesome. They were actually really good. Stephanie Meyer described it quite well, actually.
I do not doubt it.
It was kind of like a... Because Charlie was like, oh, you feel... It looks as though you're kind of mourning someone. And she's like... And in her mind, she's like, yeah, I am. Because he's dead to me now. Not like, oh, fuck you, he's dead to me. But, like, he's a vampire. He's technically dead anyway. But, like, he's never, ever going to come back.
Yeah.
Ever. And his word is his bond and stuff like that. And it's just insane how she reacted. And the way they're trying to present it in the film, it's not as good as how it was described in the book, unfortunately. The twirling of the chair and ridiculousness of that. But, like, some elements of it still hold true. So I think, give it some slack on that front. They were trying to express some kind of, like, it's a breakup, because it is, but it's so devastating to her that she doesn't even have enough power to walk.
I think I struggle to grasp how devastating it is, because we don't spend any, besides the first film, but even the first film, everyone kind of knows at this point in time that it's just kind of weird and manipulative and creepy and inappropriate.
There's too much action going on where someone's always in danger.
Yeah,
and
there's
no
never
progression.
A moment where they just sit there and
have an actual conversation.
They have chemistry. There's none of that.
Yeah.
So by the time we get to this, it's only the second movie, and he's like, "I'm out, and you're never going to see me again."
But the interesting thing is that because I've unfortunately read the one where it's in Edward's kind of mind as well, because I really wanted to know how she would describe it. He's already thought about breaking up with her.
You told me about this. That's so messed up. That makes it even more messed up.
And it's like, all right, he's on the breaking point. He was about to say, "I'm going to break up with you," while she was on that bed.
Yes.
Trying to get better.
She's like, "No, no, you can never say that again."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, no, I won't."
Yeah, and then he kind of like relents, like a parent like relenting to a child almost, but like not, if you know what I mean.
And then at the beginning of this one, she's all like, "Okay, now you're going to turn me into a vampire," and he's like,
"No."
Okay, I'm out.
Well, it's not that. It's just the fact that Jasper can't control himself.
Yeah, what a dumb reason. Bastard. Of all things, lock him in a closet. Do you have to break up with her and move fucking
No, I just love the fact that
Italy?
It's so dramatized because she's opening a present.
Yeah, and
then she gets a paper cut.
The fucking reaction.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I really like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I can't justify her going, "Oh, paper cut."
I think she has to describe it because it can't be shown properly on the screen.
No,
if you know what I mean.
It absolutely can.
I guess
that's what a film does. That's why film exists.
Like, come on,
to show us these things. A silent film wouldn't have the actor going, and then it would come up on the screen, a paper cut.
Sometimes it would for comedy value.
Yeah. Well, that's comedy value.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh,
maybe
imagine if we
these
watched
movies were comedies and we didn't realise.
Well, we destroyed the other one, didn't we?
We
saying it was a
created our
cannibal
own film.
cult, whatever.
Yeah.
That was awesome. We should do that again. Continue with the story.
I've been trying to remember the story. It was something like they were...
She's on drugs the entire time, and he's manipulating her, and they're cannibals or something.
She was the victim, but then they realised that... doesn't he fall in love or something? And they realise that actually she can become part of us.
Yeah.
And so she's on drugs, and so they're like, oh, actually, we're vampires. And she's like, oh, really?
And she's like running around and corpse, and it's like, no, you're not. You're in a warehouse.
And what was his name? The villain, the one that's all like sniffing her.
James.
And stuff.
That's his magical power, sniffing.
Whatever he does, James.
Yeah, James.
James was a paid actor. He was one of the cult members. He was one of the members.
Oh yeah, and he went all nuts and stuff.
And then they didn't tell him that actually he was going to die.
Yeah.
To make the story believable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting story.
Oh man, that was immense. We can carry on with that one, or we can see if we can find a new one.
Let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm interested. But again, this is going to be interesting because we're either going to come up with something amazing or nothing at all, because there is nothing in this movie. Because most of it is just her being like...
To be honest, I think there's more of a connection.
Feel the same way.
I think there's more of a connection between her and Jacob in those moments where it's like flashing from one thing to another, and like she's throwing a piece of pizza and he catches it as a wrench and then moving on. I think there's more connection to that than her and Edward have ever had.
I can believe that.
You know? And they don't even say anything. And I'm like, okay, you choose Edward, fair enough, but you would have a hell of a better time with Jacob, man. Come on, you would have so much fun. And like I love the fact.
A bit of a drip as well sometimes.
Yeah, but he does it with a certain grace, and he's growing up, man. He's younger than her. You gotta remember this.
I forget about that.
Yeah, because in the first one they made it very, very obvious. Like, oh, I'm gonna come to your prom in my school uniform, and I'm like, all right, we know you're younger. It's okay. You don't have any little chin thingy majigs on your beard yet or anything like that. It's fine. We know. Leave it alone. We know he's younger. And then he suddenly shot up 2 feet, and he's like taller than her and everything, and he's like a protector and stuff like that. And you know, there's lots of things changing, and isn't it ironic that they leave and then he turns into a werewolf or lichen or wolf or whatever, and it's like the threat has gone. Surely you don't need to change. Or is it Laurent or something? The guy with dreadlocks comes along. But then again, I'm thinking,
that's right.
I'm thinking, surely the Cullens would be a threat as well. Yes, there's a treaty, etc., etc. With the terrible wolf hats.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, like paper mache ones. Yeah.
But like, I'm just thinking, that treaty, it wouldn't mean shit, because it's kind of like it's still a threat. Like they can like deny that treaty and be like, fuck you, I'm gonna hunt humans anyway. But why choose to be like, oh, they're gone now, and there's one particular vampire with dreadlocks that has red eyes and is hunting humans. Oh shit, everyone needs to move and change. And it's like, you could have changed years ago, Sonny Jim.
But he wasn't of age. Yeah.
That's true, but his father in a wheelchair.
Is it his father? Yeah, that is his father. Yeah.
Or like his friends, if you recall, because they changed a little bit earlier than he did, like Quinn and the other guy.
Oh, there's the little kid that they push off the cliff.
Yeah, they're all cliff jumping or some shit. And I'm thinking, okay, they all changed sort of the same time. I mean, Paul, I think his name was, that's the leader. They don't come here, that guy, I think.
Yeah.
He changed by himself. He was the first one, and he had to deal with it all by himself. And I'm like, you know what? I think that'll be a way better story than following Kirsten Dunst. Sorry.
Kirsten Dunst?
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart, do apologise. Kind of just being like, oh, you know, if I do crazy things, I'll see the ghost of Edward. And it's like, it's not made right the way they projected it, because for me, that is mental illness, yes. And, you know, at the time of it coming out, everyone was wild for Twilight, and it made sense. Now, it probably made people cry. But watching it now, my God, does it look fucking stupid.
Yeah. She comes across as very desperate in this film.
Wouldn't you, if the love of your life, that the only thing that you have breathing is gone? Sure. And you've got nothing to live for?
Sure, if I had chemistry with that person.
You said they don't have chemistry.
They don't have a shred of chemistry.
But, I mean, to be honest, all they did was argue. And then, like, she'd be like, why are you following me? And he's like, well, I don't want to be friends with you, but I'm going to follow you anyway. And it's just like, what the fuck?
The funniest part is when he's like, you know, you need to stay away from me. And then at a school trip later on, she is staying away from him. Yeah. And he goes up to her and goes, why are you following me? Like, I'm not, motherfucker.
And then she falls,
and
then she trips, and then he's like, you better take care of yourself. And I'm like, fucking dude, what's wrong with you? I would slap him silly. I'd be like,
I can believe you would.
Come on, what's wrong with you, the quiff hair?
Are you saying, by the way, that the leader of them, sorry, going way back,
yeah,
the leader of them is the one from the first movie?
I think. I might get this
with
wrong.
The hoodie.
Maybe.
Because I love that guy. I didn't realise he was in this one.
Because he rolled his eyes in such a I don't give a fuck way.
He says it in such a creepy way. He's got like this roll, but his eyes are like sort of constantly rolling and like looking elsewhere. And he's just like, the Cullens don't come here. And it's brilliant. Awesome. It just cracks me up.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is. I don't know. They're all buff and they all have short hair and it's just weird. In the book, Bella says something like, oh yeah, why have you got short hair? I liked it long. And he starts growing it back, but when he turns into a wolf, he's like got really shaggy hair. I think that's a really good connection, you know, when they're transforming. So that would have been interesting if he grew his hair again. But, you know, this is Hollywood.
It is
They
funny.
want to look good, so...
It is interesting how they went... For the first film, it looks like him and his buddies... It looks like they live in a cave. And in this one, it looks like, you know, they live on some sort of California seaside house.
I guess that's understandable.
2.5 Men kind of house.
I guess that's understandable, but you got to realise in... I might get this wrong, but I think they're Native American.
They are.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good. That if that's the case, then having long hair is an aspect of power.
I'm not talking about the hair.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like you think they live in caves or something like that because of the way they look.
No, they just look like they do.
Oh, okay. But it's the aspect of power. The longer the hair you have, the more power you have.
I didn't know that.
So that's why it's so bloody.
But it's just in the first one, they all look a bit haggard. They all look like they've just been out in the rain for 24 hours all the time.
They probably did. Because of the
one,
shooting the film in the rain.
But in this one, it's just it's all a Vogue cover.
Well, Jacob's like, well, I'm getting buff, and everyone's like, well, if he's fucking getting buff, I'm getting buff, and then everyone got buff, and then everyone's like, yeah. And then like he goes to.
Everyone's doing what? Sorry. What are they doing?
No, everyone's like weird, like that. Like T-Rex sounds weird, but like, what is it? I think it's. Is this the one where he tries to kill himself?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Hold on. Which one? Who?
Edward. Yeah, because Alice
really
like
dumb
has like a
Italy, where he's just like, I'm gonna show myself to everyone.
Yeah, and he looks so skinny and horrible.
So skinny.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong with you? I didn't know I didn't know vampires I know they can starve themselves, but it's just like.
But back then, that was hot.
Oof.
You know, teenage girls in the cinema were like, oh my god. You know, like,
when he had a line of
seriously.
hair from the belly button all the way down, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, put it away. That's how running around with like loads of red everywhere. That was kind of creepy, as well. Like the in Italy, in that particular beautiful town, I must admit, it's so beautiful. I want to go there, and everyone's wearing red. It's kind of creepy, like cult-like almost.
Why.
Because it's a festival or something.
What it is, but yeah, doesn't the film open that way?
Yeah, because it's like it's her saying something and something important. I guess I don't fucking know. I zone out, and then like it goes to back to school and.
It's not her saying. I never give much thought as to how I would die.
That'd be so ironic if she said that every single. It'd be so funny if she said that. Yeah, but that was interesting. You know,
it was a good opening. It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
You see it running away, and there's something's chasing it. It's a good opening. The first film is okay. It really loses it towards the end, in my opinion. As soon as we get into the James situation, and it's just like, I don't care. Can we please just go back to the Cullens' house so we can see these two falling in love?
Yeah, because I still didn't.
Because I just
grasp
don't care
that
at this point.
I love the fact as well. Didn't I like really get angry? I always get angry, but like in a nice way. But when I got angry about the redhead, what's the name? Christ, we should know this.
Oh, what is her name? I can't remember. Yeah,
Victoria.
Victoria. Yes, yeah.
Good old Vicky. So she was at the prom, and no one fucking noticed. Yeah. And it's like, seriously? When you go to a prom, I've been to 3. When you go to prom, 3. In England, we have one, like, leaving middle school, and then we have one in sixth form, and then have another one leaving sixth form. It's awesome. Anyway, when you go to prom, you're supposed to have a ticket. to get in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happens there in America, but goddamn, if she came to an English one, they'd be like, "Who the fuck are you? Get out!" And she was wearing like super furry.
She had a big fur coat.
Yeah, what's it? Whatever it is, and she looks too old as well to get to be there. Like she's looking all elegant and lovely and amazing. And I love it, but it's just like you look about 28. Like.
She sort of reminds me the way she's like, because you can see her in the scenes. Not because obviously it's right at the end. It's revealed that she's watching them through the window.
Yeah.
But you can actually see her mingling with everybody in the actual prom scenes, and she kind of reminds me of Mystique from X-Men at that point.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think it's the sort of the cunning, the sort of sexy
self-preservation. That's what she's good at.
Kind of like sexy, hiding in plain sight. She's up to something. I don't know.
You've also got to remember as well, like the actress of Victoria is now someone else. I don't even know if she's mentioned in this. But in the third one, it's someone completely different.
That's right, yeah. Dallas Bryce Howard, I think.
I have no idea. Can't remember. And it's just like...
She's more famous, this one.
Yeah, of course. But it's just like, continuity, man.
I thought the old one was really good.
What?
The original actress.
Yeah, of course.
She did a great job.
Yeah, she was kind of like, less words the better kind of thing.
I actually kind of wish the third act of that film was more about her than James. James is such a boring character.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious within about a statement of him like, oh, he's the best tracker in the world. Tracker in the world. And it's like, I know where this is going. All right, prediction. Yep, that was right. Okay, cool. And Bella would obviously fall for it because she's Bella and she takes care of everyone except herself. And
that third act goes everywhere in that film. Like, it's
suddenly they're in a hotel room, and suddenly they're on a plane, and suddenly they're in a car, and it's just
so James is chasing them. Okay, so we have to do this, and this. And it's like, okay, hold on, what? And then, obviously, they go to Arizona.
Yeah. And
now they're in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And now there's something to do with her mother. Oh, wait, we've got to go to a ballet studio. Oh, wait, James is there.
Yeah.
Duh. And, sorry about that. That's what you were just saying.
Yeah.
And then the Cullens show up out of nowhere, because I guess
convenient.
Alice can just save the world whenever she wants. I'm sorry, but Alice is a get-out-of-jail-free card for anything.
Basically, yeah. She's like the best kind of character.
Alice, what's going on? And she's like, let me just get a painting, and I see a ballet studio.
But they come to her sporadically. It's not like she can concentrate and be like, right, this is what's happening. Kind of, it just happens when it happens. So, there is that. But like, yeah, she's a jail-free card.
She is. But yeah, anyway, that film really plummets, in my opinion. Before that, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It's got, like I said, the atmosphere is really lovely in that film. Mm-hmm. It feels kind of cold and creepy, and that there's a lot of history beneath this city.
But they don't show, unfortunately, either.
I do feel like that gets lost out of this film.
Well, in this one, they go all over the place again, don't they? Because they go in Italy, and then they go... Oh, I don't know, I can't remember.
Most of it's just set around Jacob's shed.
is that the only parts you can remember?
I just remember a shed in the middle of nowhere.
And then good old, what's his name? Mikey? No. The love interest that's human.
Oh, no, he's a weird one, because in the first film, he starts dating Anna Kendrick.
I know.
He goes to prom with her, and then suddenly he's like going on a date with Bella. It's really weird. Well,
it was supposed to be a group thing, but everyone dropped out except him and Jacob. But he tried to hint at it being only her. And it's like, you have a girlfriend? What the fuck are you doing? And then, like, Anna Kendrick's like, still going out with him, I think. I don't know what's happening. Like,
I guess we'll
from the third one onwards, they go by, and then that's it, and we don't see them ever again. It's just like, Bella, you are really in that warehouse now. Fuck me. You're giving them everything. You're giving them the clothes on your back, your friends, everything, even your money, and now they're giving fucking womb. What's wrong with you? Sorry, spoilers, but like, come on.
Wait, what are you talking about?
She gets pregnant, remember? In like the fourth one or something stupid like that. It's just a slow transition. It's very cult-like.
What's that got to do with Mikey Boy?
We kind of just went off that.
Oh,
but like,
that was all
sorry, but I'm just saying.
Separate,
just going with the idea of like the cult, the Cannibal Cullens. But like, I'm just thinking like she gives them everything, and then she kind of just has no room for anything else, and that's so toxic in itself. Not because of him saying like, oh, take that away, because he actually technically doesn't. It's her choice of thinking, I don't need any of this anymore. I'm going to concentrate everything on him. And he's not even... I mean, he probably cares a lot, deeply, but he doesn't present it very well. Edward, yeah. Doesn't present it very well, I think. The overall aspect of Twilight series, not just New Moon or Twilight or the next one, like just all of it in general, he's not great. And it's interesting because he's over 100 years old. And, you know, he would have probably learnt a little bit by now.
Some manners.
No, he's got manners, but it's just his aspect.
He's just very monotone, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's constantly just on the same level. You know, it's just like, Bella, you need to get out the truck now.
But then again...
And he just says everything like that.
Bella's like that. Maybe he's copying her.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're kind of made for each other. The scene in the first one where they pull up somewhere where someone's been killed, and the police are there. And she goes, "That's my father's truck. Oh my god, what is going on?" I pointed out in the last commentary.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst line deliveries I've ever heard.
But then the scene afterwards was very sweet, and they kept it very short, and I don't like that. It's
probably my favourite scene in all of Twilight.
Yeah, when she's comforting her father.
Yeah, and he says, known for 30 years or something.
Yeah. And it's like a character that was like killed in the first 10 minutes.
And we're just seeing because Charlie is the greatest character.
Oh, he's the
in
best.
This entire thing. He's the best.
Yeah.
The actor is the best. The character is the best. He does subtlety
very, very well.
So well.
Yeah, he does it so much better.
Well.
And like, didn't we conclude that he basically just wandered in and didn't know it was an audition and got it anyway, just being himself? I think we said that. Yeah.
I can see that happen. Yeah.
I love it when that happens. It's amazing. Oh man.
He's amazing. He does comedy. He does everything so well. He looks like he makes no effort.
What he used to do is raise an eyebrow, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want you to be my dad. Not like that, but like my father. That'd be funny. Just let me do what I want, and all you have to say is hi. Then
she treats him so badly in this franchise.
Really?
Bella does. Yeah.
I mean, at the end, when she has to kind of hide that she's a vampire and pregnant and anything else, he's panicking at the other side of the phone. He's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Blah blah blah. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm in Greenland. Nothing. I'm in Greenland or something." And it's
I'd be so annoyed if I was him, because it's just like, I heard you were sick. What's going on? And she's like, "Oh no, I'm just in Greenland now." You're like, "Wait, sorry, were you going to tell me this?" Like,
motherfucker, I'm your guardian.
At the end of Twilight, the first film, she's really mean. She has to be mean to him, sort of stop him from
getting out of the house and following
interrupting her. Yeah, interfering.
Yeah,
that's the word. But I never get the sense that she apologised for that.
No, we never see that either. And then like the second one, at the end of the first one actually, he was like, Ed was like, "I'll take good care of," and he's like, "Mm-hmm." And I'm like, yes, now that is good fucking parroting right there. You don't trust this boy. Don't ever trust him ever again. And like, I can probably imagine Twilight's fans at that point was like, "Oh my god, Dad, you don't understand." And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But like, you grow up and you watch it again. Yes,
you see it through different eyes.
And you see it through different eyes because we're old motherfuckers now. And you see it through Charlie's eyes.
Yeah. You really do.
Yeah, I would fucking ground the bitch.
He is the best character. He's the most responsible character.
Yes.
He knows what he's talking about.
And he adapts very fucking well, because then suddenly there's a kid that just grows overnight. Literally. That Renesmee girl. Terrible name. I'm going to call her Rennie. Rennie, baby. Yeah. Rizlo, Rennie, I don't know, I'm saying words now, but anyway.
Rizlo?
I don't know. Rizzy. Anyway. Rennie baby. She's a baby with CGI face. Oh god, cringeworthy.
That was so
and then
unnecessary.
she turns into a toddler, and then 2 days later she's walking, and then 4 days later she's a fucking kid, 7-year-old, and then a week later she's a 15-year-old, and it's like, what the fuck is happening?
And Charlie's just like, oh, okay.
Suddenly you're pregnant. Oh shit, okay. And it's just the aspect of time does not kind of compute with Charlie. I think that's his downfall, but it's also very adorable because he's so consumed with his work, because he is a workaholic, a little bit, and also he's consumed about Bella is his life. And I don't think he knows that.
When the kid comes in, he's consumed by being a grandparent. He loves it.
I know, but it's just the fact that there's the continuity error again. He's not questioning it. And I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. But then again, Jacob did kind of transform in front of him, and he's like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. And I'm like, that is the best reaction ever, because he doesn't know what to say.
It's like, that.
Oh yeah, Jacob's like, I think it's just best I show you, because the secret's out now, so I can do whatever I want.
Okay, I don't remember that. So.
Yeah. And he does it, and Charlie's like, oh, alright. Because Charlie's the last person to know
Yes.
It's really sad. And it's just like, you should have enough confidence, I know not in this kind of mystical, magical realm of Twilight, but like in general, just have enough confidence to go to your parents and be like, look, this is what's happening. I'm trusting you with this information. You don't have to believe me, but this is what's happening right now. You know? Oh man, imagine if like he did know everything. He would shit a brick. Jesus.
He would sort things out.
How? How would he sort it
Figure
out?
out a way. He's the best thing. He would figure out a way to sort everything out.
Alright, in a different scenario, in the world of Twilight, if Bella told him everything, and Charlie was like, bullshit. But like, maybe he was thinking in the back of his mind, okay, I'm going to observe this because he's a police officer. He's a very good one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, I need to get all the evidence together because that's what he's like. He likes to have the evidence. So he observes Edward and realises that what Bella is saying is actually fucking true. It's like, what would he do? What would he do? As a parent, as a police officer, what would he do?
He would probably tell Edward and the Cullen. He would probably say it to, what's his name?
Carlisle.
Carlisle. He'll probably
go up to this house and be like,
go to Carlisle and actually say, keep your son and everyone in your family away from Bella, and he would keep Bella indoors for a while with a shotgun. He would, wouldn't he? That's exactly what he would do.
that's a bit of a panicky kind of situation. I think he
Sorry,
would try
we just found out that vampires existed.
Would he go to that house by himself? That's danger in itself.
He would call Carlisle.
Just call him.
He realised he just found out vampires existed and one is dating his daughter.
He's also realising that, you know...
And
maybe he doesn't know.
Maybe
he doesn't know that Carlisle is a vampire himself as well.
He calls up Carlisle and says, "Your son is a vampire. Keep him away."
Well, not that obviously, but gets to that point where he's like, I think. Well, he probably wouldn't even say that. He'd be like, I think Edward's dangerous. Keep him away from my daughter.
And then he would guard her for a while until things settle. Because at that point, I don't know which film we're talking about here.
Oh, no, in general.
But in the first film, people are dying in town. If he found out that Edward's a vampire, he's going to go, oh, well, there you go.
Didn't his friend get killed because of Victoria? Because she just slapped him silly and he kind of fell and then died.
Yeah. Do
you remember that?
All three of them killed his friend,
Yeah. Fuck. Oh man, he's
vengeance.
Vengeance.
This
Charlie wouldn't have vengeance. I think he's too adorable.
No, he would.
He'll have a little bit of burning anger, and then he'll sizzle out.
But he would
sizzle out and think about it in a cold, kind of stern, analytical way, and be like, "I'm going to gather all this evidence, and I'm going to fucking do something about this." But in the abiding the law, man, like that.
I feel like this could have been like a little 1 hour film that Stephanie Meyer could have written. This sounds good.
Yeah,
really
you like
good.
it? Yeah. We've created something else.
I would watch a whole series based on Charlie.
I know.
I would.
I know, right? That was so interesting.
And I do wonder how much of that is down to the actor. If that was a different actor, I'm not sure he'd be that interesting.
Imagine it being like Clint Eastwood or something.
Bella, get in there.
Drink some water, goddammit.
Take care of my daughter. That'd be weird. That's a whole different movie right there.
No, it'd just be like a glint of like sunlight coming in, and he's like leaning on the table with his feet up, and he's got a cowboy hat, and there's like some smoke coming out, and he's like,
wearing
so
a poncho.
I've heard that you're Edward and you're dating my daughter.
Yeah.
And then Edward's like, yep. And he's like, don't say yep to me, boy. Manners cost nothing. And it's like,
I heard you sleep in a coffin. I'm going to put you in there permanently.
You do way better than I do.
That's the sort of thing you would say in the old westerns, yeah. I would like to see that movie. But, alas...
we have to watch the actual thing.
We need to watch this. And this film, I just want to reassure you, has over 4 hours of special features.
We're not watching
and
that.
a 6-part making of documentary. So after you've watched the over 2 hour boring
This
movie,
is the Blu-ray, by the way, not the normal DVD.
There is a 6-part making of, so don't worry.
If you can't get enough of that, you can watch that by yourself.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing that because we're not that dedicated. But I imagine at the time when it came out, everyone was like, fuck yeah, more content. So, you know, they're just giving it to the certain generation that fucking love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But it's all good. And also, I want to make a note. This probably sounds a bit odd because, you know, this is fast forward, right? I should know this by now.
This is fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward. In the last one, we did it after talking about the film, but then we discussed it and we realised that actually talking beforehand is actually easier. So
it's more interesting. We haven't just seen it, so
we got to remember all this shit as well. So like, I think this is more interesting, more fun, and then you get to get more content by watching it with us in the next segment if you want. Don't have to. It's all good.
If you've got it on DVD, if you've got it downloaded,
then put it on, and then put us on at the same time, and enjoy us ripping it to shreds. Because I can imagine the fire in your eyes is still there. You're ready to go and kill this thing. I'm not
going to be chipper through this. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, that's fine. That's my job. Don't worry about it.
But let's do it.
We'll probably imagine another world where Bella is still on drugs in a warehouse.
Probably.
Or like Charlie is the main protagonist, and we're going from there.
I want to close this out on a positive note.
Go on then.
I just want to point out, I think this is very impressive. This is the second movie, okay? And there is already a special feature on just the second film alone that says Fandemonium, a look at the die-hard fans. So from one movie,
oh my God,
they already have die-hard fans at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's impressive. Good on them.
Well, they had a whole book series before any of this came out, so, and that was impressive in itself because all the covers... Okay, I'm not an avid reader, but at the time I would wander around Direct Smiths. I don't know what it's called in America, but in England it's that. And, I would wander around and look at the visual of a book before I would read the blurb at the back. That's what would entice me in.
And they are
And
good.
Twilight did that very, very well.
The first one is the apple in the hand.
The second one is something... one of them is a chess piece.
That's the last one.
Oh, okay. Shit. And then I think something's like a ribbon broken. I think that's the second one.
That's right, the ribbon, yeah. Surely Eclipse is an actual eclipse, isn't it?
I don't think so. It's like, I can't remember. Something else. I don't know. But it's just beautifully done.
It was very well done. Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? And then, I read the back and I'm like, alright. And then, just to determine whether or not I like the writing style, because I'm very particular with my books, I would actually read a chapter or so. And then I ended up reading like 2 chapters or more in Direct Smiths. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I better buy this and get the fuck out because it's not a library. So that's how it happened. And I'm going to say it again. I read all of them before they got famous.
Oh, hold on, we're going there.
Yeah, I'm just going to rub that in people's faces.
You liked it before it was cool.
Yeah, basically. Basically I did. But like, afterwards I was like, oh, it's kind of...
You liked the band's early work before they...
Basically, like Enter Shikari. I liked their EP before it became... I had their EP.
Do you know what? I haven't heard someone say Enter Shikari for about 10 years. Jesus
well, there you
Christ.
go. As another example, I had their EP before they got famous. I've got the original aspect of Sorry We're Not a Winner before they changed it, and that's put on the album. I got the original, and that was way better. No offense, but it's just like, you like it before it's famous, and then when it becomes famous... It just loses its shine a little bit.
It loses roots. It gets a shine. That's the problem.
I guess, for people that,
didn't... sheen, doesn't it?
Well, I guess for people that were like, oh, it's a movie. Oh, this looks cool. And then they watch it and then maybe read the books afterwards. That's mostly what happens here, unfortunately. And then, what is it? Fan fiction that could go in all many directions of sexual... whatever.
Well, it did. It became quite popular.
I know, and it became 50 Shades of Grey, but that's a completely different franchise that eventually we will destroy, but right now we're talking about this.
Let's not go into 50 Shades.
Yes, that's more manipulation.
I think we need to dive into this movie.
Alright kids, we're going to stop it here, and then we're going to have a breather for us anyway, and then we're going to fucking watch this shit. But obviously for you can give yourself, I don't know, a few weeks, prepare yourself for this, and then watch it with us. But whatever, we're ready to go.
And do not worry, you're in good hands because this film, apparently to Company, it's just called Company.
What?
I don't know who they are. It's called Company.
Oh, like it's like a quote when people say it's amazing, or like the Daily Star or something.
Yeah. So according to Company, just a unknown company. It says unmissable. Our pulses are still racing. I don't know what movie they watched. But anyway.
Maybe they watched 50 Shades of Grey.
I'd like to watch that one, but apparently I'm not going to.
Maybe they watched 50 Shades of Grey before it came out, and they were like, yep, now our pulse is racing.
They were going, whew.
Bit hot in here, isn't it?
A bit hot, yeah.
Bit hot in here, isn't it? But, whatever. We'll see if it gets our pulses racing. Probably out of laughter. But apart from that, I think we're done here, aren't we?
I think we're done.
Alright.
Let's do it.
Alright, kids. Enjoy this segment and the next one if you do choose to watch it.